What's up? Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads, and check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel. Thank you. So here I have a post that is after receiving a massive ratio on Twitter. I'm just going to read out the numbers to you, which you'll see down below. It has gotten 87.3k views, 52 likes, 565 comments. The large amount of comments that are in the comment section are wholly negative. It is wonderful to see. This is the pushback that's going on social media, and why it's important for you to be on social media, because these people are seeing these numbers, and indeed these parties that these people are part of, along with the media, are seeing numbers, and they are really, really afraid of these numbers. I'm also going to give you some other numbers, because News Talk are deciding to put out a pro Ricky Gervais video, as you're seeing here, which has drawn 939,000 views with 5,225 likes. Amazing that, because News Talk is an organisation that sports over 300,000 followers but only has 5,225 likes. You've got a lot of people that are in the comments of News Talk's video here that are praising them. Are these not the same people that were cheering for your rights, civil liberties and freedoms to be taken away over the sniffles? How people forget. But you see, you have to remember that an awful lot of people that are cheerleading in the comments, by the way, are there on purpose. A lot of the likes for News Talk as well from their posts with 5,225 likes are an awful lot of rando, what seems to be very recent accounts that have been made up that are putting those likes to them. I think that's strange. But what you're seeing now is you're seeing a media in panic mode. They know that the tide is turning and they are trying to get ahead of it. But you have to remember with the way that these people behave towards you, because they will do it again. That's all I'll say about that one. Now, going on to this individual here, I've had a number of friends of mine who are African reach out to me and say that they are absolutely disgusted and feel ashamed about a post like this. And I say to them, well, it's up to you to sort this out within your own community, because that is what should happen. Because this individual is, from my viewing of this situation, trying to sow division and problems and separation between people instead of creating unity. You see, all of these people are put into these positions for a very specific and clear reason. It's to do just that. I've said it beforehand. There's nobody that's more pro-borders than people that have come here and have set up a good life and are up to good things. They understand and know about the bad people that are in their lands and them rocking into this place. They're very aware of that. And it is great to see that they are starting to speak up. It is also great to see that Irish people are speaking up. Because here's the thing. This person is called Councillor Urimu Adejinmi. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. I couldn't care less either. Because this person is a guest, a visitor in my country. And if she doesn't like it here, make it a stop and not a stay. Go home if you don't like it here. Because where else would you get this clown world show where you have a person entering into this country and assuming a political place in this country, telling us what to do? It's absurd. It is absolutely absurd, considering when you think about what's going on in Nigeria, where she hails from. Nigeria, a place that has a very bad track record with Christians. Nigeria, a place with a very bad track record when it comes to foreign models and voiceover artists. People that they've actually banned. Is that not xenophobic? Is that not racist? What about as well what Nigeria is doing to its own people? And you can understand that they're creating this problem as well themselves to try and make people flee, with the ability from their banking system to be able to whittle down the amount that people can withdraw every week. I think it's in and around 34 euros. The equivalent of is what I would say, because Africa is not in the EU. So why are all these people here? How have these people gained access to this country? You would be a little bit misled by the media and an awful lot of pictures that you see around the place the way they promote it. You would think if you were someone from a different country, if you were landing into this country from America, you'd probably think that this was an African colony or an African nation. You also then have, over the last 2 weeks, Israel Adesanya making comment upon comment about Dricus du Plessis, about him not being African. That's an interesting take, and that's something I'm going to use going forward, because I don't believe that people that have just landed on these shores are as Irish as we are. They absolutely are not. And this ability and attempt to try and claim that they are, and claim positions of power and positions of influence, it's bang out of order. So this comes back to the point in time when I say to you, you are the people that need to claim these positions lawfully, legally and democratically. I also find it funny as well that she's coming out with a statement like this when Willie O'D is only quoted over the last 2 days of saying Helen McEntee is appealing to the woke gallery. Willie, this person's in your party. Any chance you turn around saying anything about this woman? Because here's the thing, and what's going to happen from here on out, a lot of these people, and this is why I do what I do, and why an awful lot of you do what you do, highlighting things like this, because you make people and arguments like this so bad that the politicians have to go, oh, I'm stepping away from that. And you're pushing the likes of News Talk into the way they've gone here, which is being on the side of free speech in relation to Ricky Gervais. Are they too concerned about hate speech bills? Probably not. Because look who does be hanging around the News Talk offices all the time. Look who comes onto their show. Look who they're owned by, News Talk. They're owned by Gettr, a German company. Ironic that, isn't it? So what you see here is this. If someone says that they are offended, that's the line. But hang on here for a second. Being offended has something to do with you, and that's your problem in the way you view the world. And a lot of these people, and by the way, a lot of people that assume political influence and any sort of influence that share similar attributes here to Urimu, all have the same talking points. Oh my God, it's not really fair to us. Well, hang on here for a second. You can't keep yourselves in check when one word is said to you. Irish people can. Irish people are talked about all of the time. They're talked about negatively. You talked about negatively in America, talked about negatively in Australia, and in my opinion, for good reason an awful lot of the time. And I'm saying that as an Irishman. Look at who was hanging around there. The likes of who? Dr. Mike Ryan, wasn't it? He was up to no good in my opinion, and that's okay to call that out. But you have an awful lot of these other people that don't want to do that. Believe in this tribalism nonsense. And that's what I'm saying to you. My African friends don't believe in that, but they need to be starting to speaking up now, because it's getting to the point in time now where everyone's going to be cast into one boat, and it's not a good idea. It's not the right thing. She goes on to say, we have always laughed is no excuse for ignoring the hurt and trauma. I'm going to stop you there, okay? Because here's the thing. Tommy Tiernan had a set a number of years ago before he bent the knee to this woke mob, when he said, if you're coming into Ireland, one of the things that you should be asked when coming through customs is, are you here for a good time? And if you aren't and you can't take a slagging, go home. Now, he's changed this tune since then, since he's gotten his RTE show. RTE, by the way, in very big trouble at this moment in time. But here's what's also happening in the meantime. They're starting to float out talk of it being a household charge akin to a tax. Is that not then state-funded media? Are you not coming out and saying that then? Anyway, we'll go back to this here. Is no excuse for ignoring the hurt and trauma caused by careless, thoughtless, vile words labelled as jokes. It's absolutely astounding, because these people, for example, like Councillor Urimu, would be offended about one word if it's said by a person that seems to be or happens to be white, for example. But they look at Kevin Hart, and they look at Dave Chappelle, and they look at Eddie Murphy, they look at rap music, they look at all of it as well too that uses this same word and finds no fault in it whatsoever, even though it's a derogatory word according to certain people. Very strange that, isn't it? So when these people are saying things like that, what happens with jokes, and as you know with jokes, there's an element of truth to an awful lot of jokes, and that's why jokes are told. And some people that get up on the stage and perform as comedians, that's the position that they're in. They're up there to tell the truth and hide truth within the jokes that they're saying. That's why you see, for example, why Dave Chappelle has come under fire over the last year or so, because he's been saying things that are the truth. Ricky Gervais is coming under fire because he's saying things that are the truth. Are you noticing the pattern here? These people want to go against free speech as much as possible, and comedy is one of the last bastions of free speech, because they are people that get up on the stage and they have a living being made out of doing that, out of causing offence. I've been to many a comedy show. I have never ever left a comedy show going, oh, I felt offended by that. That's ridiculousness. That is a soft, weak mind that is doing things like that. Sure, you can go to a show and not enjoy it, but I've seen people at different comedians' acts and shows that have got up and left and they're shaking their head and out that weak, soft people. Then this idiot goes on to say, check your bias, check it regularly. Are you for real? Like I just said earlier on, Nigeria is a problem country at this moment in time with all of the things that are going on with it, and I'm sure with things that happened in the past. When you're talking about bias, then you know who she's talking about and how she's talking about that. She is pointing out News Talk, and I am no defender of News Talk, but there is a specific element that you can all read the room on what type of element this is, in my humble opinion, allegedly, speculatively, when you see a post like this. Check your bias, check it regularly. You're only short of telling her to check her privilege. Now, I am no defender, as I said, of News Talk and no defender of Dr. Ciara Kelly. What I think when you see things like this is I think you see an awful lot of points in time where these people store up drama and controversy then to get people to talk about something different, because this hate speech bill thing, this has been an absolute flop when it comes to the political sphere here in this country. But like I said earlier on, you've got 54 likes. It's gone up now. Now, not that there'd be 6 or 7 goofballs that'll view this video and try and put it up over 60, and fair play to you. But there's woman there now, Elaine Mullally, and she says, everybody's line is different. You have a right to be offended. Everybody has a right to free speech. 174 likes. That is a person that isn't in a position of prominence there that has ratioed a counsellor, which is absolutely hilarious. You've got this man here, Simon Gold, says, dear counsellor, I understand that you were offended by a recent comedy show performed by Ricky Gervais in Dublin. You expressed the belief that if someone claims to be offended, that should be the definitive line. However, I would like to provide some perspective. And he's talking about Irishness and 169 likes on that there. In Ireland, also keep an eye on the view counts that you're seeing here as well. Way less views than what she's after getting, and there's more likes. Toby here has absolutely spanked her when it comes to likes. In Ireland, we always laugh at each other, respect the culture and traditions of our nation, don't try and change it to suit you. 349 likes. I came at it with a different angle. I deport you as soon as possible if I ran this country. Go home. It's as simple as that. This sort of cajoling and saying, look, no, go home. If you're not happy, make it a stop and not a stay. Go on home. Nobody's hanging on to you here for any good reason. Michael O'Keefe says, is this the official position of Fianna Fáil party? It sounds like they want to make comedy illegal. 61 likes. Derek Bloig, the great Derek Bloig, is in there. Satirical Soldiers up there, up above. If you don't like jokes, you're more than welcome to leave. In fact, we could deal with the bed. Absolutely phenomenal. New Ada, you were showing how totally out of touch you are with the Irish character. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but names should never hurt you. We are a resilient people and we welcome all mocking and jokes. You cannot say that you represent anything Irish. 200 likes. What rubbish, Helen. We can't spend our lives being accused of causing offence. Offence is taken, not given. I feel very offended by your tweet. Should you care? Should you apologise? Should you be censored? No, you shouldn't if we value free speech. Stop with this nonsense. 92 likes. So you've got an awful lot of people that are in here now that are ratioing this counsellor. So this is going to be panic stations for Fianna Fáil. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. You see this here, a concerned nationalist friend. What do you mean by we? Your own country is a violent place, yet you design to lecture us on how to run a nation. Get your own house in order first before thinking to comment on the affairs of successful civilized nations. You see, an awful lot of these people like to come over here and like to tell us what to do, even though there's a number of problems in their own country. And you see, we've gotten to the point in time now where people have dealt with this nonsense many a time, and this person will try and come out with the age-old adage of, oh my god, you're istophobes. People are well beyond that point in time now. Things have gotten serious and they've gotten to a point where people don't want to deal with this sort of stuff anymore, and they're not having it. And I think it's phenomenal. Now, I would say this: how many white people are councillors in Nigeria? How many white people are people of influence and power in Nigeria? I think we should get that going. How about we censor the speech over Nigeria? How about you, Paddy Irishman, head on over there, assume a political power in Nigeria and tell them what to do and how to say things? I think you would be treated far differently than you would this woman as things stand here. Phenomenal to see the response and to see the ratio. I mean, this has been one of the mothers of all ratios that I've seen on Twitter for quite some time with a politician. The last time I've seen a ratio this bad was when Helen McEntee decided to open her mouth. That's the woman, by the way. And here's the common trend: leftist women. This woman obviously as well too. As I always say, you just have to look at them and understand, not attractive and have all of these weirdo warped ways of thinking and wanting to control other people. Social media, in my opinion, has an awful lot of water to hold in this can to blame, because it has given people like these a voice. And as I say, free speech is important, but you are seeing these people be checked and absolutely spanked online, and they are not used to it. And that is the beauty of Elon Musk owning this platform as things stand. As I say, Gab is a superior platform, but these people are finding pushback and are being pushed back on social media apps like this, which is fantastic. And panic will be set amongst that party, because when they see things and comments like this, they can't play political games anymore. Like I said earlier on with Willie O.D., done, it's finished, because there's one year around there opening their mouth and saying stupid things. Get your own house in order before you start commenting about anyone else, is what I would say. So fair play to everybody that's in the comments that decided to make a comment towards this and accurately expose the nonsense that this person is peddling. I would say to the fine people of Longford, make sure you get yourself into a position where you can be mayor of Longford, and make sure that this person and people like her aren't going to be sitting in any sort of political influence and power ever again, because this is our country, and if you don't like it, go home. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads. Check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel, and I'll talk to you later. Good luck.